Rest in peace to Chinx. And this is a live chat for those who are not familiar with this process or how the process works. We're talking back to the screen as we talk about the Chinx situation, who was killed about 2 years ago. And they finally had enough to make an arrest on the person that they wanted to make an arrest on. Um, and it's always somebody you know, and somebody you're related to or friends with, or we all know how the scenario go. I know all these cases are getting solved. That's what it seems like. But this was developing for a while, and they just needed some more evidence and some more people to come forward. Now, he's only been charged in this. So it doesn't mean he's did it. It doesn't mean he's guilty. He's yet to have his case heard. 32-year-old Quincy Omri. He's been charged with murder, assault, and criminal possession of a weapon in the drive-by shooting that left Chinx dead. This was the video they said when they were arresting him, bringing him in. It was breaking news. Then Lisa Evers had the report when they showed his Porsche, where he was shot multiple times in the torso. And he was only 31 years of age. Another victim that was in the car was left with bad injuries, but survived. Chinx was not that lucky. There's 1,000 rumors about some stuff in prison. Some disrespectful things, and who knows? Who knows for sure? You know, it's just terrible that this is the results of what comes out of these situations. It's nothing. It's another sad story to tell. And this is the cycle of self-hate. And it's normally somebody you know is going to be the person that normally take you out, unfortunately. Whenever I have time, Kahari, we'll do it. It's been a very busy week. Extremely busy. Yeah, Chinx was on his way up. He spent a large time trying to come up, working with French and all those guys, and to have this happen to him, to stop his career and everything else. You know, people wanted to attach this to the other guy who Stacks and everybody else who died before him. So, well, Chinx was a cool dude. He was straight up and down. That was one thing about Chinx. He was straight up and down. He's a family man. Exactly. Now, you've been hearing all these other stories of an intricate plot. Somebody's out to get him. Yes, I met Chinx. I met Chinx with, what was it, with Floyd. one time when French. It was right when French and right at the time when French and 50 stopped hanging out, almost around that time. I don't know Chinx. I didn't know like, hey, that's Chinx. You know, nobody was like that. He was just there. And he wasn't kind of hanging out with it was a lot of stuff that happened when Fifth and French stopped hanging out. I don't know if Chinx was still, you know, Coke Boys and all that, but whatever happened with them falling out, you know, that's what led to this situation with those two. And that's when I never saw Chinx again, but he was real cool. His demeanor was chill. So for somebody to have a problem with him, I don't know. If you don't break the cycle of hate, there's nothing gonna come out of it. We talked about this last night. If you was in the live chat last night, you heard about it last night. People are not big enough to let somebody else. They hate you once you get money. I don't understand it. And people think I be talking about myself when I bring up these stories. I'm not. Look, I make a little money. I mean, they're making big money, so people think you're like, yeah, man. But it don't even matter. If you got a good job, you making good things, you buy things for yourself. The person that hate on you first normally is somebody who used to roll with you. They the first person to hate on you. What you buy that for? You don't need that. How you gonna tell me what I need? It's my money. I worked for it. That's the first thing somebody come out their mouth is to tell you what you don't need with your money when they don't pay not one of your bills. But if you was in the need of money, they be the one to give you the excuse on how they ain't got it. But they like you like that. They like you being the one to ask them for some money. They stop coming around if you got money. Oh, man, I ain't going over there. Yeah, man, since he got a little money, man, yeah, he be tripping, man, buying all this stuff for the crib. Yeah, he just want to show it off. That's why he ain't going over there. That's the mentality. I'm like, why he want to show it? Yeah, he proud of what he got. Why he can't be proud? I'd say we got a friend. He got his basement redone. You know, he got the Dolby Atmos sound in his basement. So he wanted everybody to come over there to watch the movie so you could hear it in the sound at the crib. Oh yeah, Chinx verse on It's Over is dope. Definitely. I'm glad I could go back and listen to that. That was a dope verse. Probably one of his best, to be honest. Exactly. Like Ice Cube characters on Players Club. It's a lot of those dudes out there. That's the sad part. It's a lot of them. Yeah. I mean, hey, that's what it is. You ain't never lied, Avion. You ain't never lied. Bootsy will definitely tell you exactly how it is. But this young man should not have to die. There was no reason for this man to die. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. We got too many young guys that's dead over dumb stuff. Guy in our hood who, you know, he had a loud mouth. He had a smart mouth. And he talked it to a guy who came in the neighborhood from out of town. And it got him killed. You know, and dude got up and went right back out of town. But the dude who brought him had to go with him. You know, because he brought him. And ain't no way he could stay in the town no more, or in the hood. Because he just brought a guy to town that just killed his homie. Oh, yeah, I had to let it be known. The NBA has taken all revenue for that video, by the way. The video that I did exposing LeBron James, they wanted me to take it down. But you know what I told them? Keep the money. The video gonna stay up. You can have the money. I don't want it. But the video gonna stay. I ain't taking it down. So they pissed. See, they thought because I'm not getting paid, I'm gonna want to just take the video down, because that's what they want anyway. They know legally they can't just have me take it down. They tried. But under the Fair Use Act, they can't. But they can take the revenue for the video. So I said, you know what? Go ahead. Take the money. But guess what? That video's staying up. I ain't taking it down. I don't want the money. You can have that one for free. It's staying up. People gonna know. When anybody gonna ask and talk that LeBron James stuff, the people gonna know. That video gonna be there. Oh, they tried. But we lost so many good people, or people just for indifferences. You know what I'm saying? Chinx didn't have to go out like that. And it's been other stories like Chinx. It wasn't like Chinx was out there trying to murder somebody. And the thing is, I'm not saying that guy's guilty. I don't know him. I don't know what he did or didn't do. I'm just saying, there was no reason for this man to lose his life. And that was my take on it. You know, I really didn't elaborate and go all into no big hoopla about it. I was just straight up with it. Basically, I mean, my man from Lost Boys, Chinx, he got killed over hate. No reason for Chinx to die. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of nonsense that happened that we got to get out of this crab in the barrel mentality. That's what I'm saying. Is somebody good doing good? I mean, yeah, not Chinx, Ty. My fault. Freaky Ty. Jam Master J. You know what I'm saying? It was just ridiculous. Yeah, well, that's the way I felt too. But a lot of people was like, man, when you gonna talk about Chinx? When you gonna talk about Chinx? And I've been so busy, I ain't had no time to really do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I'm gonna sit back and give y'all what y'all want. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. Thanks for donating to the page, man. I appreciate it. So now he's being charged with it. Doesn't mean he did it. A lot of people been charged. Ain't nobody did it. So it's up for the courts to prove who did what. Nah, I never knew Alpo. I don't know. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the case. I don't know what this man did. I don't know his prior. I'm just telling you the information that has been provided. He has been charged. A lot of people said he was a guy in his crew. They snitched on him. That's just people talking. I'm not finna come on here and convict somebody over the internet. Because I can't, because I don't even know. Well, see, here's the thing. French is not a rapper. You know what I'm saying? He's a hustler who ended up rhyming and making catchy beats, which they call, the wave. He make that wave sound. He's good for hooks, in other words, and bridges. French is not somebody that can hold his own on a rap album. He needs to be with another artist. Of course, come on, man. Everybody could smell what was going on in the Lorenzen Wright case. That was foul. But from day one, everybody knew it had to been something with the ex-wife. They just needed a murder weapon because everything else was done so circumstantially. They just needed proof, and I'm just glad they stayed with the case and did what they needed to do to bring her in. Yeah, see those little mixtape DVDs back in the day? Those used to sell because people weren't buying CDs no more. They was buying mixtape DVDs, Cocaine City DVDs. That launched a lot of people's careers in New York. I wouldn't know nothing about that. Yeah, he called 911, and they ended up shooting him. Yeah, well, that's what it is. Hip hop is street now. No, well, it isn't. It's just that streets is where they come from. So when you don't know anything, that's why they say for there was no place, and Tupac brought this up. There's no place for blacks to go. Where they gonna go? There was no hood for the blacks who had money. When blacks get money, they gotta move around a bunch of rich white folks that don't know and they don't like them anyway. So they're not comfortable living over there. You come from the hood, you got all this money, and you can't go nowhere. So they gotta go and live by a bunch of people who are doctors, lawyers, and all these things, and got all these houses and stuff. And they don't even want you over there. You some rapper who just happened to get all this money. So they resent you being in the neighborhood. So now where you gonna go? You can't go back to your hood because you're gonna get killed if you do, because you got money. They broke and ain't got nothing, and they mad you got it. So you can't go back and hang out with the people you hung with. Where you gonna go? So that's why rappers get in trouble. That's why rappers get shot. This is why rappers, because they try to go back and hang out with what they know. There was no black neighborhoods back then. Now it's different. Now they have communities where it's like a bunch of rappers, mostly in Atlanta. There's like a rich black area where Nas, Jeezy, Neo, and all these other, they all live in this same neighborhood over in Atlanta. And that's where the rich black lives. They have some in LA and California. Where it's mostly a community of where the rich black rappers and stuff like that they live. Oh, Jay wouldn't do that. Jay don't live around here. Jay idolized, and his idols are billionaire white Jewish men. That's his idols. He's not he's not idolized any black revolutionaries and stuff. He does that when it's time to make money off of them. Jay-Z's an opportunist. Warren Buffett, those are his motivators. The Doug Morrises. He told you this in his records. You just didn't listen. He praised them. That's why he pushes himself to be like them. You seen rappers killed when they go back to their hood, or shot when they go back to the hood? They burnt Nas' car down in Queens. He went back to the hood. They burnt his car down. They were mad at him over something. So there's no area where you can go and feel like I'm safe here. This is what's up. I can live over here. I'm safe. No, because that's the truth. If you look at any entertainer right now, and I don't know who said this, but it was a black entertainer. He's got a multi-million-dollar house. And the guy that's next door to him, he's the only black guy in that neighborhood. And he's up in New York. It's a real rich area in New York where a lot of black celebrities live. And he's got a bunch of white people around him. And he's got a multi-million-dollar home. But the person next door to him is white. Everybody white. And his next door neighbor, none of them are in entertainment. One of them is a lawyer. The next one is a doctor, does operation. Another one is another type of lawyer or something. All of these guys that's on his block, none of them are entertainers. They can get all of these homes based off of their profession, their job. But how many black doctors you know? How many black lawyers you know? How many black all this stuff, and they still can't afford to live out there? So once we stop killing each other, they're going to figure out another way. But you got to stop killing each other first to say, okay, let's stop this killing. Let's slow this down and let's get back to what really need to go on. The system has always been against us. Period. So there's never going to be what's that, like we're all equal, we're all this. And I can't wait for the day where, no, that's not going to happen. You got to understand, this is the system. It has not changed. It has not wavered. They got what they want. An economic prison system that arrests people of color. The darker you are, the darker you are, the greater chance you have to going back to jail. Oh, we talked about this topic already. Chinx's case is now under investigation still. Even though they got the man, they charged him for it. They got the murder weapon, I think. And now they're going by what the evidence got. The guy's got to get a fair trial. And he should have never went anywhere. That's a sad situation to see this man lose his life over some. I mean, it went over no money, nothing. Nothing. I'm just sick of it because it makes the industry look bad. Like, this man did not die over rap music. But yet, he's a rapper that died in the streets. And then that ties into all forms that ties into all forms of nonsense. Yeah, it makes the industry look like, yep, there they go, killing each other, because it's the only genre in which you get killed. What R&B artist is killing another R&B artist? What country singer is out shooting at another country singer when they see him in the club? Now all the R&B people want to be rappers. So now they getting in. Now they getting in gang wars. Nah, that's not true because they don't behave. They don't behave like that in the jungle. So it's not jungle behavior. Oh, gentrification? Well, that's what happened. That's what's happening every day. You seen it? It happened in Chicago. That's why all the murders started happening in Chicago. They tore down all the projects in Chicago and just moved those people away from downtown. Why? So that they can spend money downtown. Mayor Daley didn't care about the people at all. They tore all the buildings down where they lived, gave them money, and gave them some money. Said, "Look, we tearing the building down. Y'all gotta find out a place to live." Gave them money, let them move out, and where did they go? Inglewood. They had enough money to buy property and buy houses up in Inglewood. So all the troublemakers, all the good people, and the troublemakers all went together to find places to live. Some people stuck around and waited for them to rebuild, but now when they rebuild, the rent is 3 times more than what you used to pay. So you can't afford to live in the neighborhood you used to live in anymore. That's gentrification. They're moving one element out to bring in another. Now they built new little stores, little coffee shops, bringing people in. And now look at downtown Chicago, what they did. They put the bean in. Before, because it was all those things were too close to downtown. Downtown used to be where everybody go to shop. Magnificent Mile, all them stores. They were losing money because it's all these hobos and all the people from the hood is downtown because downtown is close to them. So what you do? You move the brothers out of the neighborhood. Now you're seeing more white people come back. And the chart is showing it. Like, look at all these people moving back to the city. And now you got people killing each other in Inglewood because it's people that don't live there over there. Same thing happened in New Orleans. Most of those people went to Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas became a war zone. They started shooting and fighting the people that came over from New Orleans because of the flood. Then they start fighting over dope and territory. Same thing's happening over there. They fighting and warring and killing each other over territory. And everybody else is living in a war zone now. And it's just bodies adding up. And the police ain't gonna do anything to stop it. They're not gonna get in there and risk their lives. That's not their job. They just gonna come pick up the bodies until it becomes national attention. Then they like, okay, look, we can't have that many killings this month, so we gonna have to just show presence. Now, when somebody come into town or it's an election and they need the murders down, the police is out in numbers. And you know what happened? There's no killings. Because ain't nobody stupid enough to kill somebody while the police there. They know that. So the numbers go down. Then they leave. And then people start dying again. So it becomes a cycle. But they blame the people in the neighborhood for everything. But they never put the blame on themselves. Or they never show them their part of what they do. And the role they play. You take away the schools. You take away all of the things that's constructual for them to learn to be better. You took it all away. You took music out of the school. You took prayer out of schools. You took the school away from them. That wasn't enough. You took the school away. So now the teachers, they out there fighting and boycotting and everything else. And the schools that are open are overcrowded. And they don't want to listen to these teachers. The teachers are overworked and underpaid. Now you have no recreational centers to go to. You have none of these things. So what is there for you to do? You're going to go outside, join a gang, hang out with people, get in trouble. You have no jobs around you. The people, all the jobs are out where I live. People come all the way from out here from the city. So you have no job, no recreation, no education. What is there for them to do? Rob, steal, get in trouble, do drugs, and then access the guns. How are they getting these fully automatic rifles? Somebody's making it available for them. Somebody's getting it to them on the streets. And what do you know? You got crime. And what they do is they put it on the news so the rich people and the people that are doing good and they living in their areas can fear what's happening over there and say, oh my God, why are they killing themselves? Why? Because they don't even know. They don't even care either way. But the news is like, see, stay away from over there. You're safe over here. Don't worry about over there. Worry about your area. They'll show that on the news. 4 people killed in Inglewood today in a shooting. That's all they're going to tell you about. Then they'll cut. But over here, look at this. Lily is picking flowers. Oh, and look at her mom. And it brings them to a calm to say, oh, we got it good out here. Why can't everyone be like this? They don't want it that way. The news, it helps promote and push agenda. The agenda of fear. That's its job. And they're very good at their job. No, I'm just trying to help people because they won't let me get all this stuff out. And another brother lost his life, and, you know, that's just terrible. I know. You don't see anything like that. It's an anomaly when something like that happens. Gets swept under the rug. You gotta understand something, man. It's a much deeper, darker game going on that you guys know very little about. Population control. It's not about population. Look, they got population control. They're decimating what you guys even understand. You guys don't even understand what's going on, really, of how this land was even populated. This is a world game. It's not a local game. It's not a game by blocks. System has been going on for many, many thousands of years. That's how long it's been going on. Oh, people know it's still slavery. That's not even the point. People know it's slavery going on around here. But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot going on right now that you don't even know. There's been a war. People think the war between light skinned and dark skinned blacks. I've told you this thousands and thousands of times over the years. It has been a plan well before Jim Crow and slavery and all that nonsense. Listen, it's been going on since the beginning of time. They have figured out a way to get rid of you by making you kill your bloodline and replace you. Look around. How many more dark-skinned blacks do you see? In 1970, how many dark-skinned blacks were there? There were a lot. I mean, black is midnight. Dark skin. Darker than my hoodie right now. Now, they're getting less and less and less and less. You look on television, they barely show dark-skinned people. There was never a term for a light-skinned person to be called black. Into the newer era, now they like, I'm black. That never existed before. They have replaced you as the new black. See, what you didn't understand is the war with light-skinned and dark-skinned blacks have been going on since the beginning of time. It is inscribed on the pyramids. It is inscribed on the pyramids. My complexion, I would have been killed for being that. The Catholic Church funded programs where they would take Aboriginal women, rape them, have kids with them, and the mixed boys they would take on an island and raise them and teach them how to live in white society. And they taught them Christianity and how to be a good Catholic. Then they took them boats and floated them out to Puerto Rico when they went to war with Puerto Rico. Drove all the natives of Puerto Rico who were blacker than this shirt all the way into the mountains and replaced them with these new mixed children who ended up becoming the Puerto Ricans we know today. While some of the Puerto Ricans, you see them deep in the hearts of Puerto Rico, they're blacker than me. And you're like, how did they get this dark? Because they were the original people there. But they were murdered and slaughtered in the name of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church did this to the Philippines. The Philippines did not believe in the Catholic religion. They did not want it. After the United States helped them in 1900, going over there and helped fight the British invasion when they tried to take over, the United States helped them out. And the Philippines was like, thank you. And they was like, oh, don't thank us, because now we finna take over. And they were, what? Yep. And now that they weak, they lost thousands of people. Here come the war. And the Philippines and the United States went to war. And the Philippines lost the most people. They lost almost half their population. Like 40% of the Philippine population died in that war because they fought 2 wars back to back. And what happened once they lost their religion and all their leaders had to submit? They cannot teach their religion anymore. They have to only have Catholic religion. It was law. And that was in the 1900s. Now look at the Philippines, 90% Catholic to this day. The Catholic Church went to war and pushed their religion on everybody. You see, light-skinned blacks and dark-skinned blacks never gotten along. They were considered to be taboo. They actually had a name for them way back then. And they were casted out to where they had the whites didn't want them, dark skinned blacks didn't want them, so they had only themselves to horn to have their own. Then they had nowhere to go once they had the whites came in and took over their territory. And the blacks let them into Egypt. Why? Because they saw the women. They said, man, look at that Jennifer Lopez looking thing over there with that long, pretty hair. Let's let them into Egypt. They let the light-skinned people into Egypt. And pretty soon, all the brothers started cheating on their wives with them light-skinned girls. And one of the kings messed around, had a kid, and then over the years, it got worse, it got worse, it got worse, it got worse, till they took over Egypt completely. And what did they do? They ousted all the dark-skinned blacks. Start painting them as black dogs. Do you see all the Egyptian with the black dogs? They'll be like, that's the king. He's like a black dog. Now, yes, they did have black dogs there. But they never worshipped them like that. They never put them up there and said, that's Ambius. No, Ambius is a dark-skinned brother. I wish I can go on my PC and show you Ambius. That's not how they view him. And that's what happened when they took over. They brought in the cat. The Cleopatra in them era. They brought the cat in and they brought Catholic religion over there. They brought a whole bunch of stuff into Egypt when she started messing with the Romans. And it ended the pharaohs. See, let me show you something. They try to show you Ambius in so many different lights. This is not Ambius. Okay, those are the dogs that were in Egypt. Those are examples of the dogs that used to be in Egypt. Period. Okay, that did not represent Egypt. This here is a mask that they used to wear when they go to war, just like a helmet that they would wear in Egypt. They start doing all of these paintings to try to make him look like a half man, half dog. And that's the work of those who took over. But he was never like that. They did this. When they took over, they made that to be the symbol of ambience. So that was the case. It's he was a man, a dark skinned man, Egyptian. Right, the Sphinx. Right, they don't want you to see his identity. They don't want you to know anything about his legacy. They're just gonna pull from his legacy to make what they want it to be. Well, it was destroyed from within. You gotta understand, this is called the lost generation. This was a set plan in motion. They wanted to create light skinned blacks because they feel light skinned blacks are more docile. They're more easy to be controlled because they have half their blood is. And they can trust them more in society. They're more docile. Where blacks, they feel like they can snap and they're more angry. So they wanted to find a mix. And by mixing of the races, the blacks would never accept them and they would never be mistaken for being white. They're not white, they're not pure. So they have nobody to back them but themselves. So they have to basically beg for somebody to accept them. That's how it was then. The blacks would not accept the light skinned blacks. They were called mixed or mulatto. They never was confused or mixed with blacks. Now that's changed. Now everywhere you go, they be like, I'm black. And then you'll see a mixed person, they'll tell you that they're black, which is fine, but you never see them tell you that they're white. Why is that? If they're mixed. A mixed person, they're either going to tell you they're mixed or they're black. But they won't claim white. Why is that? Because that's what's been programmed into them. To be white is to be pure. And if you got anything in you, you can't be white. You have to be pure. They created that, and it's subjectively put into them. That's why we put them. We pass that on to all kids. If you got 1% black in you, you black. I don't care what that is. If you got one drop of black blood in you, you black. We put that on ourselves because that's what they put in us to tell us, hey, if you got 1% of anything in you, you're black. You can't be. You're impure. And we put that on ourselves. And we preach that to our kids. Don't worry, you black. If you got 1% of anything in you, you black. So just anybody could be black. I'm using the terminology that people would understand. I'm not here to say you're Israelites or you're one of the texts. We're not going to some dialect that would confuse people. I'm giving them the basis of what they would understand. If you're white, that's fine. This is not a racist thing. This is a history thing. This is a history lesson. There is a reason why all your artifacts have been broken. The faces have been destroyed. It's not just the Sphinx. It's all your material. See, when people take over your history or they replace it with a whole new religion, they have to destroy everything that you had. In Mexico, everything, that land that was Mexico, the Aztec, the Mitecs, all their religion, all of their beliefs, that all links up with the Mayans, with us, the Indians, all of it together was destroyed. Only when it was dug up do people be like, oh, wow, what is this? They just wanted to destroy it. Now you look at all the Mexicans, they will die for the Catholic belief. When they defeated you, the Spain that came over there, Maximilian, all of them guys went to war over there. Cinco de Mayo, the day y'all stood up to them, because they didn't send enough people. They sent a little army over there, and you guys beat them on Cinco de Mayo. And that was the day of victory that all the little farmers in Mexico came and stopped the Spaniards from coming over there. And once Maximilian found out, he sent an armada over to Mexico and slaughtered all them people. So Cinco de Mayo was a great victory for them on May the 5th, but they paid for it May the 7th and 8th as they were dominated and taken over and replaced with a religion, Catholic. Now, you watch them now. Who are all the Catholics now? Who are the strongest Catholics you know? They will fight you for that cross. Filipinos, Mexicans. It was never, ever their religion. Never. It does not date back to their history, to what they believe. Never. I wish I was. But we would all be hunted down and killed if this was back in those times. You see, the United States, we all have this false sense of everybody rules are like ours because we live here and everything else. And the rest of the world, it wasn't like that. And this is in the 1940s. If you were light-skinned and they caught you in Australia, you would be killed by blacks. You were considered to be an abomination. Let me give you an educational lesson. Read it for yourself. What does it say? After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, remember Pearl Harbor? You seen movies about it. You heard about what happened in Hawaii with Japanese. On the 7th of December, 1941, the Imperial Japanese Navy steamed south, unleashing their fire on Darwin, a city in the territory of Australia. The territory was a land of crocodiles. We've seen Crocodile Dundee, cattle barons, warrior chiefs, where adventure and romance was a way of life. Okay? It was also a place where Aboriginal children. Do you know what Aboriginal is? You can look it up. That just means black. Place where the black children of mixed race was taken by force from their families and trained for service in white society. These children became known as the stolen generations. So in case you think this is some hokey doke thing I made up, mixed race have been designed for you to mix race. You've been programmed to do this so that they can take them and train them for white society. Light-skinned people get all the jobs. Light-skinned people get all the fun. Dark-skinned people go to jail. Don't you see it? It's unfortunate. But this is the reality that you're living in, and you're asleep to it. You're asleep to what's going on. You have not even noticed there's not that many dark-skinned people around you no more. You haven't even noticed it. Why? Because they're going to jail and being murdered. And the rest of them they are mixing the races. They chasing after the white girls. They don't even know why. They want to get them a mixed girl. They want to get the light-skinned girl. They want to go get that. They don't want nothing that look like them. You heard Kodak Black. I only want me a girl that look like me. I don't want no black girl that look like me. Because that's the program. Don't you see the rap girl videos? Who they got? The nice light-skinned girl who gonna shake her butt on camera. She got the wavy long hair down her back. She got the contacts in her eyes. Docile. Easier to control. What do they say about dark-skinned women? They fuss. They angry all the time. They always mad. Can't control it. So they take the darkest guy you know in the world and try to put him with a white person. But have you noticed the white people that they put them with are not the top of the litter? They put them with somebody that fell out of a trailer home in Indiana, and they be like, what is he doing with her? Somebody that then fell out of the trailer home, and they throw him in there. Now, you're free to date who you want. You're free to go out with whoever. It's your choice. I'm giving you a history lesson. This is what's happening around you right now. People see somebody who dark skinned, they think they ugly just because they dark skinned. Because you don't see dark skinned people on television. It's not inscribed in your mind no more. You don't see them around you, so you don't think of it as beautiful. Lapita was like, I was like that at one point. She's like, I was starting to hate myself and not thinking I was beautiful because all the people in the magazine I see are light skinned. They got long hair. Everybody's got they gotta have hair going down their back. They gotta have all these things, or they're not doing any of it. Love who you are. I don't blame people for being. You have no choice on who you're gonna be when you're born. It ain't like you can go out there and be like, you know what, I want to be Chinese, man. Yeah, I might be 5'2", but hey, at least I'll be good at math and taxes. So you don't want so you can't go around and blame people for being something or hate on somebody because they're something. It makes no sense. But there are evil, wicked people in the world that push this agenda. And the only way to fight this is to love yourself. Stop hating yourself. Stop judging yourself to want to be what you see on television. Love yourself. Love your family. Put your strength in your family. Keep your family together. Don't let your family be broken. Break the cycle. You're not going to win trying to attack things that you hate. You got to protect the things you love. That's how you win. You're free to date who you want. I'm just giving you a history lesson on what's going on in the world that people are asleep to. So this is not saying, oh man, all white people are evil. They trying to kill us. No, it's not like this. The people that runs this world, a lot of them are very evil. And this plan has been in place for a very long time. So a lot of wicked people in this world who put this thing in motion. Oh yeah. I don't know who Dr. Clark is, but I'll tell you that right now. he would understand exactly what I'm talking about. All right, I'm out. I'm gonna do my Star Wars. I'm gonna go over there and do a Star Wars live chat soon. So we'll get that set up probably tomorrow or something, and we'll go from there. Y'all have a blessed night.